Hey guys, welcome to day 14. So I kind of like have been dragging my feet a little bit today on doing today's video just because I feel not really grounded, and that was a burp. Generally I don't feel that grounded today, and I feel like there's a lot of like I'm feeling like just a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff like going on in me, like in my auric field. So yesterday I was feeling a lot of anxiety, and I feel like that kind of like ties in has got something to do with like um me trying to work in general, like 3D actual work. Just because I have not been actually working in the sense of like, really generating producing kind of like 3D work, that kind of basis. So for the past, I would say 1 year or like 1 year or so, I have been more focused on my feminine aspect. So even in the work that I have been the offering I've been providing for people through some Pluto alchemists, it's more of like therapy work, providing Reiki, and as well as like mental alchemy, guiding people into their unconscious, into their psyche. So I haven't been like sitting on my desk and then doing actual work on my computer for quite a long time, or I would say those work that I've been working on so far has been pretty minimum. And I know that I've having a lot of resistance um in like towards those kind of work, just because I also actually know that I haven't healed this aspect of me. So I feel like for the past one and a half year or so, I've been healing my feminine side, healing my motherhood, so to say. And I kind of have an inkling, or was it channel, I couldn't remember, like this year itself I will be the theme for this year, or like the upcoming year, so to say, is for me to kind of heal or deal with my fatherhood or my masculinity, so to say. And I can feel the resistance building up in me as I kind of like start to, I mean, like, it's active healing, right? It's not feminine kind of healing anymore. It's not about like sitting with myself, diving into my psyche, which is actually what I'm really good at. And i I would actually even say like this is the kind of like good work that I can holding a space like I can provide for people. But to heal my masculine side about like, being productive or like doing work in general, I have to approach it in a more of an active healing kind of way, which means that I have to sit at my desk, do some work, watch my anxiety arise, watch myself as I'm feeling stressed, and then maybe adjust and take a bit of break, like, just keep going to and fro. And to be honest, it has been pretty exhausting for me. And especially now when I'm having a collab project with a friend, and it's more about like the details, like filling up kind of like the details, the information, going to and fro, talking to people, and then getting all of just general coordination work, I would say. And I kind of like watch myself reacting to it, and to be honest, like, not all the time I kind of like win, or like will be able to be like conscious about it, to like watch it happening. So some of the time when I get too overwhelmed with anxiety and with stress, I can feel, or rather I would just lose control of myself and then let the anxiety take me, and I would start to react or start to do things in the way I used to do in the past, which is kind of like how I was when I'm not that mindful, not that aware of my actions, not that aware of my emotions. Sometimes my anxiety wins, sometimes I win when I became more mindful and then watch myself. Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't the intended thing that I wanted to share actually, but it came up, so might as well. I mean, like, I know that I'm working through this team this year, and yeah, the other thing that I would like to share was, oh yeah, I remember now. So I feel like I was like, as I was working through this team, yesterday was one of the day where I woke up with a lot of anxiety. It's kind of like it's always there. Like sometimes it softens a little bit, sometimes it just gets more overwhelming. And there was a wise friend, or rather someone that I sometimes talk to on the internet, to say like there there is a message beneath the anxiety. So it's more of like just allowing it to come up, just listen to it, just hear what it has got to say. I mean, I agree also, and also at the same time, because I always know the next step, right? So I think that was a bigger part of my life where I kind of like, hey, I know there's something underneath, like anger is covered emotions, there's something underneath. Let's dive more into that. So I have the tendency to just kind of like just want to get there, like, hey, just let me know. Like I'm pushing it, you see. So this time around, like for lack of a better word, like somebody actually kind of like scolded me for like when I was experiencing my first ego death. I was like, come on, just die so I can move on. And then my friends like, this not gonna happen that way. Like you cannot force it to die. You can only just allow it. Like just let it take its time, because you can't force it. You can only meet it where it is right now. And having learned that lesson and having been through several a few ego deaths myself, I kind of like know the drill. It's no no fun. But I kind of like, okay, like yesterday for me was like, okay, the theme for yesterday is anxiety. I just need to breathe through it. I just need to be with it, because anxiety is one of the emotions that easily just take me away with it. And the next thing I know, I start to react to things than being able to be in the space of like mindfulness. So anyway, yesterday the primary theme emotion was anxiety. So I just, okay, just let it be. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And today I woke up feeling really sad. I couldn't explain, and till now I don't even know what is it, but it's kind of like how I advise my client, how I advise people as well. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. You don't have to link everything to the brain. You don't have to link everything to like kind of like, you don't need to have a reason. You don't need to know why to process certain emotions. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, and that's okay as well. Because the moment you start to search for the reason and you couldn't, the next thing you're gonna do is, I don't find a reason. I shouldn't feel this way. So, I mean, that's another whole big story, because to be honest, like because of some people, like after knowing this, and I also know that some people, like the way they question you is like, but why is it all this kind of thing, and that drives me nuts, because I still haven't been in, like still am okay in the space of like, you know what, their projection doesn't affect me. So anyway, that's another story for another time. So I woke up. I was doing some work of my own, and I was playing this sad playlist on Spotify, and I just felt grief. I couldn't tell you why. It's not just pure sadness. It was grief. I know that is because I have grief before, and it has the same sensation. It has the same kind of like feeling to it. I just know. What am I grieving about? I have no idea. a little bit of idea, but I'm not sure, but that's okay. So I have not eaten earlier part of the day, and I think it was like in the afternoon, and I, instead of like going to have my lunch, I made myself cacao. I stopped my work, and then I just had my cacao, allow the emotions to come up, and I just cry. It wasn't very long. It wasn't it it wasn't very long. It was catharsis, of course, but it also wasn't like a lot. It was just a brief, I would say 15 minutes. And my heart still feels very, very, very heavy. I just allow it to be. And it wasn't like the usual meditation because I craved the sad music. It was with lyrics. It was probably affecting my mood in a certain way, but it felt like I need that music to kind of allow me to bring up that emotion. So I had my cacao. I was still playing my music. I lay on the floor. I had my ugly cry for like 15 minutes. No narrative surface. No story surface. No reason surface. And after that, I just felt like going through all my previous Instagram poses because I have been kind of like posting or like writing stuff from my heart. So it's kind of like therapeutic for me as well to kind of see my own journey. So I was like scrolling through it, and just a while my heart just feels settled. I couldn't explain why. I don't know what's going on, but I just feel like I feel relief and I release something. Not sure what is it. And that's my process. It took me a very, very, very long time to lean into a process like this because even sometimes when I go out, I felt like crying. I felt certain emotions coming up that it's pretty much unacceptable to other people because it can be like, even sometimes when you're happy, people ask you why are you happy, like people expect you to be calm, people expect you to be, like if you're sad, if you're grieving, if you're crying, if you're angry, if you're joyful, people ask you why. To be honest, I hate it because it felt like I need to justify my emotions when now I know there shouldn't be a link to it. There can be, but it shouldn't, or rather, it can be not at least for 100% of the time. And sometimes when I feel like when I feel certain emotions coming up, and when I'm with somebody, and when that came up, I can actually picture, if I allow that to arise, I can picture the other person asking me why. And then I need to, I will have this little narrative in my head. It's like, can I justify for my emotions if I don't have a valid reason that is acceptable to another person? I don't want to allow it because I don't want to explain myself. I don't want to justify for myself. That's where I stop myself. And it's just that. It's just annoying to me, and which is why today, like, it wasn't my usual way, but today I just posted on my own Sun Pluto Alchemist Instagram and said, like, I don't feel good, I cry, I'm still alive, I cry, I have no reason. Like, you don't have to try to make me better, you don't have to ask me why, you don't have to do anything. Like, you want to send me hugs, you want to send me kisses, I'll accept that. I'll accept like support like that, but I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else for you. I don't need you to make me feel better, if you get what I mean. And which is like this, like, I'm trying to make a statement like that on my Instagram. At least this is the first step for me of like leaning into People are gonna misunderstand, people are gonna project. I'm gonna just say my piece and just see what happens. I think it's because of like you don't have you don't have to be you don't have to make me feel fine. It's not your responsibility. You don't have to ask me why because I don't want to justify. You don't have to do anything. And someone texted me and said like, then you okay, I'm gonna like paraphrase it a little bit, but it's more of like, oh, then you go eat ice cream, then you go watch TV. That is gonna make you feel better. To be honest, I was like also triggered by it because, like I say, it's not your responsibility to make me feel better by you saying that I actually feel worse. I have my own process to emotionally regulate myself. My God, it's 16 minutes. I've been rambling on. But of course this are gonna serve as content for my future videos. Of course in a more of a curated way because I don't want everybody to like suffer through me rambling. So thank you for anybody who's like suffering through all my rambling. But again, I feel like this is a very important topic. It's a food for thought for anybody and everybody because tables are gonna be turned. Like even for myself, like because I don't like it because when the other party cannot sit with their emotions, they or rather the other party cannot sit with these emotions, they want me to feel better thinking that I can't sit with that as well. And the same thing, like when I'm feeling okay and when you are not feeling okay, I want to have the capacity to just hold space and meet you where you are. I don't want to actively trying to make you feel better. Because if I do, but I mean, ironically speaking, if I try to make you feel better, the last thing I want is for you to suppress your own feelings and it's just gonna come out in some other way. Okay, enough of rambling. I have to curate this one day. Thank you so much if you are listening.